Oh, hello. In today's video, we're going to get hype. Kill Team Termination has finally arrived on the Sunday preview. We're also going to talk about Kill Team Hivestorm, the rumoured next release and next edition of Kill Team. Stay tuned. So, the big news is that the new box, Kill Team Termination, has arrived on Sunday preview. So that means it will go on pre-order on the 1st of June, and it will be in your hands on the 15th of June, or if you order from Games Workshop directly, a little bit later because of how they post it, but that's the release date, the 15th of June. Let's just start by looking at how that tallies with the release schedule as we understand it, and we're going to make some predictions as well. So if you just follow my cursor here, these are the things that are supposed to be coming out March, April, May, according to published roadmaps, right? So you can see here's Kill Team... Now, weirdly, Kill Team Termination was never on a roadmap on the graphic. It was merely stated in the seminar by Eddie Eccles, I want to say. And you can expect new releases each quarter in the same vein, right? And so some people on the Discord have been like, oh, Kill Team Termination, you know, it's not fair to put it here. You should put it over to the Timeless Wastes because they never really committed to putting it out in March, April, May. Weirdly, if you go look at the Warcry, roadmap, that's the word I was looking for, that explicitly did say there would be a Undead versus Order box coming out in March, April, May, right? And now we've seen Termination before the Warcry box. So don't get me wrong, all these things here, the Legion Command Squad for 30k, which has been previewed but hasn't gone on pre-order yet. The promised plastic melee weapon set, which is just lost, right? 30k resin characters and upgrades, we can say we've had that, like it's super vague, that's fine. Kill Team Termination and Brower and Bone are all late. By my estimation, right? But Termination is the least late out of those other things because it has now gone on preview, which is also funny to me because it was the least firmly promised out of all those things, if that makes sense. These are the other things that we know are on the way. So we've only had an extended roadmap of 40k, so these are the things they've committed to getting out in June, July, and August, okay? And these are the other things that they've previewed. So if it's in green, that means it's been placed up on pre-order or Sunday preview, or it's just out, right? And if it's in yellow, that means they've shown it on a preview stream or a preview article, but they haven't done anything about telling us when it's coming out. Over here, this is my speculation, okay? So I think Age of Sigmar 4th edition will arrive on Sunday preview on the 16th of June. And therefore it will go on pre-order on the 22nd of June, and therefore it will be released on the 6th of July, right? And I think that Kill Team Hivestorm, the next box after Termination, will be announced Gen Con on the 2nd of August. I mean, that's not a rumour. There is a Gen Con preview stream on the 2nd of August, right? I think there's odds on that they're going to show off Kill Team there. Now, I'm predicting, you might call this bold, right? But it has happened before, once, okay? That they'll go from the hype stream on the 2nd to the Sunday preview on the 4th, straight into the pre-order in the 10th and the release on the 24th. Now, why do I think these dates? These dates track. You got to remember, we're locked in a 3-year cycle for both Kill Team and Age of Sigmar, and these are the same dates, adjusted so they fall on Saturdays and Sundays. These are the same dates as we had in 2021 when we got both Age of Sigmar Dominion and Kill Team Octarius. So I'm saying Age of Sigmar Skaven Tide and Kill Team Hivestorm are going to come out in the same relationship to each other. That's just my theory, okay? Tell me in the comments that I'm wrong, and that's fine, and I might well be wrong, but the reason I'm wrong is not that these two are too close together, because this is how close together they were when the last edition of each of these games came out, right? So don't tell me they're too close together. Other reasons I could be wrong I will entertain, but it's not that they're too close together. Okay? Good. And I promise I will talk more about Hivestorm but you have to keep watching the video. It's a tactic to increase my view time. It's a YouTube thing. We're going to talk about Brood Brothers. So Brood Brothers, we know a little bit more about the Brood Brothers from White Dwarf 500, okay? So, I mean, we'll know everything soon enough, but we may as well go over this now, okay? So we know these are the models that we're getting in the set. We're getting the Brood Lord, obviously, the two little familiars, you've got the Magos, and you've got the Primus, and then you've basically got 10 guys, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 guys. Now, what's interesting is from the White Dwarf here, we don't quite know still how team selection is going to work, right? This is a 13 model team, but 2 of those models are the hilariously named Scallop and Prawn, the familiars, right? Now, I'd assumed that you'd have, because in the set, it's like 1 familiar comes with the Primus and 1 familiar comes with the Magus, I think, right? Anyway, let's read this out and see what it says. As the attacker, I picked plenty of melee and short-range weapons with the intention of getting onto the objectives as quickly as possible and then stabbing up any kin that try and take them back. I didn't take a Patriarch because there's one on the board, the Nepsis, up in space, while the Magus is on the main board. So just to clarify, this is part of a White Dwarf article where they're playing a game of Boarding Patrol, of 40k, and of Kill Team, and they're all narratively linked. Now, the only one where they actually tell you about the game in any detail is the 40k, the big 40k game. The Kill Team game and the Boarding Actions game just kind of happen and are talked about vaguely narratively. So it's not worth leaving. Genuinely, trust me, there's no more information in White Dwarf 500 about these teams other than this bit that I've shown you. Okay. So what he says is, so I took the Primus as my leader. Right, so he's got a Primus. The Primus is, I know it's a terrible photograph, but the Primus is here, right? I also picked 2 familiars as they're small and elusive, which makes them great for taking objectives. So we can learn that the familiars can take objectives, okay, and they have elusive. Now, is that going to be something similar to what the little Galapox fellas have, where they basically can't be shot? I don't know. But it's a 13 model team. Now, I don't know quite how this is going to work. What combinations could you take? Is it the case, for example, that you always have the 10 Brood Brothers and then you either take the Magos and the 2 familiars, or the Primus and the 2 familiars, or the Brood Lord and you forgo the familiars, so you lose and activations? I mean, we know the Brood Lord's going to have double activation, but you lose an activation net. Like, I'm just not sure how it's going to work. So, we can see what else is here. We've got a name for this guy with a club and a backpack, right? Who's this guy here in this clearer image. He's called an agitator, okay? We've got the Neomorph Commander, which is this guy, who's going to be your leader, because much like a lot of these other teams, you're going to have a leader that's one of your basic guys, and not like your Primus. Even though in the lore the Primus would be the leader, he's not actually going to be the leader. The leader's going to be this fella here, right? Then we've got our Primus in the middle. We've got our 2 little familiars here and here. We've got a sniper, okay. So that's interesting. I think the sniper... There's no sniper pictured in this shot? That might be the sniper. Okay. We've got a grenade launcher. We've got 2 troopers, a melter gunner, a sapper, a knife fighter, a veteran. Right? So... It says here, I didn't take a medic in this kill team. So hang on, I'll read it. I didn't take a medic in this kill team. Having played Astra Militarum for so long, I think they have a habit of getting shot first. So what I want to know is, do the Genestealer cult have to take 2 troopers? And therefore, he's chosen, like he's taken a sniper and a gunner and another gunner. Right? So you can imagine that they have the option to take 2 gunners. He's taken his sapper, his night fighter, his veteran. Okay, so what has he not? He's not taken this icon fella, and he's not taken the medic. Yeah, because this is the veteran. So there's the veteran. The veteran's there. Right. There's the commander. Right. So we got veteran, commander. The agitator's over here. Right. The knife fighter is here. Oh, there's comms as well. Right. So he's not taking a comms. Weirdly, he's taken a sapper. Sapper isn't on this picture. Okay, so we learned about a new operative. They've got a demolitions guy, not on this picture. Yeah, and a melter and a grenade launcher. So it basically comes down to, has he been forced by the rules to take these 2 troopers? Or could he have taken a medic, an icon, a comms? Those all seem... I mean, not taking a comms? I don't know. But maybe, because you don't know, with it being a narrative White Dwarf battle report, you don't know if he's just taken a simpler thing, like they do sometimes on the Battle Report TV program. Has he just taken a suboptimal loadout for kicks? Or do you have to take, like, at least 2 troopers? Is it going to be like, you got to take your 10 guys, of which you must take 1 leader and 2 troopers, and then you can take 7 specialists, which can include up to 2 gunners, right, and then a leader? Or maybe the troopers are there, so you lose the troopers when you take the Broodlord as well as, or instead of losing the what does he call them? The little fellas, the familiars. But he says, I took the familiars. I picked 2 familiars, so he chose them. So you don't. Could you drop the familiars? Could you get a second box and run more Brood Brothers? Like, if you wanted to run, is there going to be a world in which you can run, like, 13 Brood Brothers, if that's what you want to do? Like, just 13 guys with lasguns and all the specialists and no other nonsense? I'm not saying it'd be good, but I'm really deeply curious now to see how this team, how the team selection works for the Brood Brothers. I think it's going to be interesting. I'd really like to do a Brood Brothers team. I have an interesting idea to kit bash them with also Acadian Command Squad. So convert the Primus, because I think this model looks weird in the context of the Brood Brothers army. So convert the Primus to be like the officer from the Command Squad, but obviously keep this like extra set of arms and stuff, and put the Genestealer head on him. Maybe try and keep the officer's cap. I think that would look really cool. Maybe there's a kit bash with the Primaris Psyker and the Magos, just to make them look a bit more, some of these characters look a bit more like they fit in with the rest of the squad. I don't know. It's an interesting one, but it's something I might do even when I get round to it, right? Or we've also know about something about the Hernkin Jaegers. Now the Jaegers are less interesting in a way, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys, and in the team it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys. So it looks like this is going to be a really straightforward 1-box team. Some people love that, right? You buy your box, you build your dudes, that's your team. You don't need to roster, off you go. So we've got, interestingly here, so it's White Dwarf's 500th issue. It's only right there are dwarf-like warriors in the battle report. I have the honour of painting the new Hernkin Jaegers. I'm really looking forward to using them in battle. Of particular note is the Jaeger Ironbreck. So where's our Ironbreck? This guy, yeah, it's this guy up here with the crate of mines that we thought looked like some kind of miner. He has the power to lay a minefield before the battle, so that's quite cool. And then other than that, all we really have to go on is the names. So we've got the Jaeger Ironbreck, that's the mine layer guy, right? We've got the Thane, right? So this is our Thane here, I think. Yeah, okay. Then we've got a Bladekin. This is our Bladekin up here, yeah. This is the Bombast, the Pistolier here, right? Somewhere there is... So this one with the... That's interesting, isn't it? The model's arm position has changed. This one here is the Beast Slayer, right? Interesting. Okay, interesting. We got a Riflekin. That's this one. And then it looks like a bunch of basic warriors. So it looks like this is going to be a one-build team where you're forced to take 1, 2, 3 generic mooks, which very similar then to the mandrakes, right? You buy the team, you build the team. Some of your team are basic guys, and that's just you go and you run them. Again, some people really love teams like that. There's less for me to speculate about and less for me to dig into, okay? I mean, we can kind of tell what we're going to get, right? We're going to get a close combat fella. We're going to get a fella with a silent crossbow. We're going to get a sniper. We're going to get a guy, the leader with whatever the usual power weapon is. They look quite straightforward, if I dare say so. Like, obviously, maybe when we see the rules, they won't be, but they look like a more straightforward team, certainly from a list building perspective, as compared to the Gene Stealer cult, the Brood Brothers, I should say. Okay, so I've kept you on 10 hooks for long enough. What is Kill Team Hivestorm? So this is compiling rumours from two sources. Chapter Master Valrak, of course, and our very own Lowbrow in the Discord, who popped into the last live stream to drop some rumour bombs as well. So essentially, and there's some of my own speculation here that I've clearly labelled at the bottom as well. This is just stuff that I'm making up that sounds reasonable. Okay, so the next edition of Kill Team is apparently Kill Team Hivestorm, and it's going to be a big box like Octarius, right, with 2 brand new teams, all new sculpts, a full table of brand new terrain, and a core rulebook. Okay, now the star of the show, and this is mostly coming from Lowbrow, a little bit of Valrak talks about it as well, is the terrain. Now, Valrak talked about it being multi-level terrain, okay, but with the shorter size of floor that's more the kill team size rather than the old bigger 40k kind of height for the ceilings. So multi-level terrain is interesting, right? Normally something we'd avoid in kill team. So there's going to have to probably be some rules changes of some sort to deal with that. I think that now where Lowbrow came out and he's basically like, this is Games Workshop's big new terrain set for 40k, and they just happen to be launching it via a kill team box product as like its launch box, but then it will become available for 40k. And the idea is that it is modular, totally modular city fight terrain. Now I tried to understand when I was talking to him on the live stream, and I couldn't really get the understanding if it's gonna be like Into the Dark, where you end up not gluing it together much, right? So you can change it around and build different layouts, which is Into the Dark's really annoying in that it adds about 20-25 minutes onto your setup time for your game. So there is that, but on the other hand, it is pretty cool if it actually works that way, And I'm assuming, this is my assumption, this is my speculation, this is not a rumor, that the new edition of Kill Team, and I've been saying this since time began, it feels like, will probably come with maps in the box for the new terrain. Because one of the benefits of doing a new modular terrain set is that you can say, look, this is how you want to set it up for these maps, which would be pretty great. I actually kind of hope that they abandon the boxes for this season model where the terrain is separately, because actually, if there was ever a thing where I wouldn't mind buying the same terrain 4 times, it's if I buy the terrain 4 times and you tell me, well, that also makes a really good 40k table, like if it actually works out that way, that's not a bad thing, right? Because 40k 10th edition has been crying out for terrain that properly supports 40k 10th edition, by which I mean like ruins that have a clearly defined area, and it'll be really interesting to see if these models have that as a feature, almost like it's a building with a clearly defined like base on it. That would be amazing. Yeah. Now, one point of difference in terms of speculation that me and Lowbrow were having in the chat is that I assume if they're doing this, they're going to get rid of Season 1 play. So Octarius goes in the bin, which Lowbrow wasn't having. Like, oh, so many people have invested so much into Octarius, but I can just see Games Workshop doing it, right? And now, of course, there will be a line in the rulebook that says like, oh, of course, you're free to play on your own terrain if you want to, right? But we know, I think this will be intended to replace Season 1 play. I can see Into the Dark getting a PDF release, right, for free to make it work with the new edition of Kill Team, because Into the Dark is really popular. And I can see Better Decima just being one of those really short-lived products, right? And people just be like, nah, it's gone now, right? Sod it, right? So I don't think it'll be any of your teams that you're squatting. I think it'll be your terrain. So I've got like Chalnath unbuilt on sprue, right? So is that just going to go straight on eBay? I don't think we're playing those Season 1 terrain sets again. I think it's going to go straight to eBay, right? I think we're going to be focusing on the new thing potentially, right? Now, as to the teams, we've got names. So the Jump Pack Scions are called Aquilon Kill Team. 10 Scions apparently will have a Gun Sentinel, which is a turret thing, and the Vespid Stingwings are 10 Vespid with a gun drone. So a lot of people have said that, including me, because Valrak initially, I think, got this part wrong and was saying, oh, it's going to be a new edition focused around flying. I don't think it's going to be that at all. In fact, I think it's quite possible that the Scions have grav shoots, right? Because we know Valrak is a very... whatever leaks he gets are visual, right? He almost never has sight of, like, rules text. So I don't think that they're going to have fly. I think they're going to be like we were all thinking. Because remember, we all thought when we first heard these rumours that they were going to be Elysian drop troops. Well, again, Elysian drop troops did not have jetpacks. They could not fly. They had grav shoots. I reckon if you look at the Phobos list and you look at the grav shoot equipment, maybe the Scions are all going to have grav shoots, right? Which would be pretty cool in a game where now there's going to be more verticality, because there's going to be a ground floor, first floor, second floor kind of deal, or for the Americans, a first floor, second floor, third floor, depending on how you index your buildings. In the UK, we zero index our buildings, right? Yes. So that I could see. And then the Vespid, maybe the Vespid will be able to fly. But the Vespid don't have plasma guns, or at least don't all have plasma guns. So I guess that's not such a big deal, right? I don't think or maybe they'll. Again, they took the proper full flying away from Harlequins. Maybe Vespid will have some other limited form of fly, right? I don't know. One other interesting thing is that Valrak said, and it was on those blink and you miss it things that he kind of garbled through in the way he does sometimes in his video. He said something about there being a smoke grenade in the box, right? So are they going to make like a 3D marker for a smoke grenade? And if they're going to do that, it makes me think, and this is just my speculation, if you look at the fact that they're getting more and more and more teams smoke grenades, could one of the features that they bring out for the next edition be a generic equipment list available to every team? Right? So they say every single team can have a smoke grenade if they want to, and it costs this many equipment points. And yeah, you can fluff that however you need to, like the Blades of Cain smoke grenades have a funky name that isn't a smoke grenade, but one smoke grenade in one place on a central equipment list, and everyone can take it. And you know what else could go on such an equipment list? Climbing ropes, right? And if you're going to have multi-level terrain in the core version of your game, having the thing of, well, you could spend this much to give all your guys climbing ropes, or you could buy your cool faction-specific war gear and stuff, is a decent shout, right? You could also put frag and crack grenades in a core equipment list as well. You know, there are a couple of other items that keep cropping up that we could just make available to everybody. But I really think if you make smoke grenades available to everybody and you make climbing ropes available to everybody, that's interesting, right? That's interesting. So that's my thoughts, my rumours, and the things that I have to put on Kill Team Hivestorm. And that brings us to the end of the video. So first question is, are you ordering Termination? Right? If you are, do consider the link, Element Games link in the description. Of course, don't forget, it is coming out on the first Saturday of the month, so if you're collecting the retail coins from your local Warhammer store because you're a nerd's nerd, like me, then maybe you want to buy it from GW and pay a lot more for it. You get a shiny coin. If not, Element Games has been actually for these kind of products pretty good recently, right? And you'll get it before the people that order from Games Workshop, so that's a plus, right? Are you hyped for Hivestorm, or what we think we're getting in terms of Hivestorm? Does it, to borrow a phrase, tickle your pickle? Let me know, all right, in the comments if it sounds good, or if you think anything about it sounds truly terrible. I'm actually really excited now that we've kind of vanquished the idea that it's going to be an edition focused around flying, and I'm really pleased and hyped for the idea of getting a brand new modular terrain set that will work in Kill Team and that potentially can grow into 40k, right? I know some people are going to be saying, oh, I've already got so much terrain, like, don't make me buy more terrain, and fine if that's you. Personally, I don't like a lot of the terrain that I have. I have it because it was what was available, but I don't think it's very suitable for a lot of games. I don't think the terrain that they make is suitable for either. You know, if you look at Kill Team Morok, right, I don't actually think like the big bunker and the landing pad and all these things are particularly suitable for either 10th edition 40k or Kill Team, right? They may have been suitable for the game they were designed for, 9th edition 40k, but they're not particularly suitable for 10th edition 40k. So I, for one, welcome our brand new terrain overlords. Bit weird if Beta Decima has such a short shelf life. I'm thinking particularly these little bits and pieces that we're getting in the box here that are narrative terrain for Beta Decima. But be fair, they're just little line of sight blockers that you could use on any table at any time for any reason. Like, these are not gonna stop being useful because Beta Decima stops being used. The egg box from the last box, Nightmare, potentially you're gonna struggle to find a use for it. But these little things, I think that'd be fine. Right. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have a good one out there. Big thank you to all subscribers. Really makes a difference. We're getting towards 2k now, which is really impressive. And thank you as well to those people who are members who actually pay money to me every month. That's fantastic. And a special thank you to Nightfall and Massive Crit, who are members on the highest tier and therefore qualify for a special personalised shout out in every single episode. Alright guys, thank you for listening. See you again next time, which will be Tuesday. The next video is on Tuesday. Alright. Hope you enjoy, those of you in the UK, the bank holiday weekend. And yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.